Let's see if anyone jumps in. Yeah, go live there. Now we're going to start it up in the good old Twitch. I'm sure there's some way that I'll figure this out eventually to do like a pre. Oh, there we go. Talking to myself. For Twitch to like have like the pre-stream start. Okay, so that's live too. Yeah. Ahoy! All right, we got some people seeing it. Do we sound good? Do we sound good? Hmm. That might take a second. The good old delays. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so it should just be live here. And close that. Good. Good, good. All right, you got it. So let's see. We got anyone in here? Hello, hello. I see you on Twitch. I see you on YouTube. All good? Nice. All right. So I'm just going to start with a little recap because some people will watch this as videos afterwards. A lot of the GMs that have already been here that have been excited about seeing you coming onto the channel, so that's good. So for people who are maybe catching this on YouTube, have never seen our stuff, or the algorithm somehow shoved it to you from the dark recesses of the TTRPG keyword, I'm Cruise Drew with Event.Cruises, one of the organizers for events like the D20 Cruise. And this is just for us to chat with the epic people that we get to work with on a boat and do some nerd stuff while sailing, including D&D. So Jay Africa here is one of our guests, and one of the first GMs that I think I reached out to when we started the D20 Cruise in 2023 as a consultant for like the Los Angeles ecosystem. So like, do you recall? Like, I think I reached out to you on like Meetup or something. Yeah, that's oh oh for sure. Yeah, I can't argue about that at all. Like, I think I shot it out there, and I was just like, oh, I hope this guy replies. Like, he's really connected, and I like your background with like theater, GMing, like all over the place. So it was really helpful to schedule like the D20 cruise. For those who don't know, D20 Cruise is an, a D&D centric but not limited to TTRPG cruise where the guests will get to go on. They get paired with cool GMs like J Africa here, and play a private game at least once each day in the core of the cruise. So usually, like say, a 5 day cruise, day 2, 3, and 4. And these folk just run some epic adventures because I've yet to get bad feedback. Like I think the bad feedback we got was that first year we ran it in the conference center on the ship, which was like way too many people in a small. So it's like, think on a cruise ship you have smaller spaces, so no vaulted ceilings. It was just noise and heat bouncing around down there. So we switched, as you've seen as a living like historian now for the cruise, where we have the private junior suites and people play in there now. But yeah, it was really cool to do that. So the main thing though is aside from where we're at now, the thing that I'm most curious to help other people understand is how to become more like you. So let's start at the beginning, right? Like when did little Jay get into D&D? Like take us back to that moment, like when you first started playing D&D. Hmm. Oh. Yeah. Wow. Oh. Wow. Mm. Mm. Oop. Well, yeah, a little break. I mean, the grunge 90s, that's fair. So someone Rebel Pilot said there's no audio for Jay. Can anyone else not hear the audio? I hope not. I mean, we'll have it on the recording, but but still. Let's see. Now it could be on our set. I'm waiting to see if anyone else confirms. Yeah, because Frank said good. Let's see. That one was YouTube Twitch. Hello Twitch. I see four. I don't think so. Say something else? Oh no, you're popping up on mine. Let's see. Yeah, time to do some editing. As we can hear anything. Just me? I just drew? Yeah, that's gonna be interesting though. As I want to dig into that more about the upbringing there. I always like to know, like, do you remember when you played? What were you like, a specific class, or were you just like multi-class, everything, full party? Okay, yeah, that's a main support one. He's a Rebel Pilot said I'll leave and come back, so he's gonna check. I also asked. That's pretty good. Man, it's crazy to think of like a class. I guess like the races as their own classes. Like it's pretty restrictive.
So I didn't have all of those options. I didn't really start playing AD&D until like second edition. And by that time, I'd had a little bit of time to kind of mature into other aspects of the game. But when I started playing, and again, I just had the red box and then the blue box after that. Like it was just fun, and it was cool to kind of like uh be exploring the world that way. You know what I mean? Through sort of the fiction and the mechanics and the classes and stuff. So
Hmm.
I didn't feel like I was missing out. Things it's certainly better now, you know,
Yeah.
because because you have so many more options, you have so many more opportunities to tell
Yeah.
kind of cool
Yeah.
stories and create cool characters, you know.
Now it's like, oh, my lobster's too buttery and my steak is too
Yeah,
juicy kind of
yeah,
problems.
yeah, 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 yeah. Exactly, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, nice.
yeah.
We
My
said we're
slime, my slime wizard, you know, half dragon, half banana. You know, multi-class is really cool. You know,
half
it's
slime,
great.
half
It's great.
banana. You've made a banana slug.
But yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly, exactly. I
Very
know
nice,
somebody there's made that. You
for
know,
sure. I always
yeah.
love seeing the creative concepts there. Okay, so yeah, all right. So you did the full experience at the beginning. You got the red box, so like you can't really, ultimate basis there. Up to now, where you're a pro GM. So from when you started playing, you moved, you started picking it up again, you had your hiatus. When did you really step into your first like, I'm gonna run a campaign? I'm look at me, I'm the GM now.
Okay. I mean, I'd always kind of been that. Like, even when I was younger, you know, when I was still playing games in high school with my friends, I always was sort of the one kind of running the games. And whether it was playing D&D or again Marvel superheroes, that was a big favorite of ours because me and my friends, we just loved comics, right? uh, or we were just doing like freeform storytelling games. I remember that me and kind of like a core group of friends would just kind of hop from one story to another. No rules, nothing. We would just kind of make things up, and uh, I was pretty much always the one facilitating it, because I had all the stuff, like I had all the rules, and because I kind of started with, you know, like uh rule specific games like D&D, Star Frontiers, the Ghostbusters game. Ghostbusters was a
Oh wow.
huge favorite of mine. Um, because I started with that, that kind of got me conditioned to just improvising stories and creating stories, and that's sort of what allowed us to do just our freeform game. Um, I after that break, so uh, let's see, I'm trying to figure out like how the best what the best path to take was. Oh, I remember now. I took that long hiatus for a while, right?
Hmm.
Went to college, ran a theater company, had kids, was in a band for a few years, and then during the fourth edition days of D&D, they released another red box. They released sort of an updated version of the old Mensa red box.
Mm.
And when I that the ad for that is what triggered me wanting to go play again, like really go play wholeheartedly. I like, okay, you know what? I've got a kid now. I got to get into this again so that when my kid's old enough, we can all play games,
Long
right?
term investment.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, precisely, precisely. But yeah, I started playing that. I kind of got together with some of the core group of friends that I used to play with in high school. They were actually the first people that I reached out to,
Oh wow.
and we got games going. And we would only play like once a month, once every couple of months, but it was fun, and I learned the rules. And fourth edition was like a complete change to the face of D and D,
Mm.
and I loved it. A lot of people kind of decry fourth edition, but it was such a refreshing thing for me that I just loved it. I dove head in. I created, you know, like I created my own campaigns. That's when I really first started creating my own homebrew world.
Mm.
Um, and I, besides, like, I mean, after a certain point, playing once or twice a month or once a month or once every couple of months, it's not enough. If you play RPGs, you know that that's just
Yeah.
not even close to enough playing. And I learned about the D&D Encounters program, which is D&D organized play, right? It's sort of the standardized gameplay that Wizards of the Coast was running at the time. And the Encounters program would run in stores, in game stores. You could create your character, drop into a table. It was
Wow.
very friendly for drop in and drop out play. And it wasn't West March's style where, you know, the adventures are kind of self-contained. It was actually a bit of a campaign. And you
Mm.
were playing like it was a pretty linear campaign,
Mm.
but you still kind of got plot and you got character advancements and stuff like that.
So this was different than like the Adventurers League stuff. What was it called? It was
It was called D&D Encounters, and
D&D
actually
Encounters.
it's several facets of organized play. If you don't know, folks, organized play is sort of the official campaign for various RPGs. So D&D has it. It's called the Adventurers League nowadays. Pathfinder has it. It's called Pathfinder Society. There's a game that's called Everyday Heroes that has organized play. And basically, what these organized play programs do is they create a campaign that can be run nationwide, worldwide, depending on the reach of the game. There are organized play campaign games for like D&D and Pathfinder, like all across the United States. Um, and if you play in those campaigns, you can use your one character, take it from whichever organized play game to any organized play game, and kind of advance your character that way, right?
Mm.
So it's a great opportunity for people to kind of do just to play D&D and kind of keep your own character instead of having to like try to find a homebrew table wherever you happen to be. And so D&D encounters back in this is like 2008, I believe, like towards like the tail end of the fourth edition life cycle. Well, actually, it was towards the middle, now that I think about it, of the fourth
Mm.
edition life cycle. I started playing at a store nearby and had a great time. Like the GM was a fun GM, and the people that I was playing with, they were great. There were a bunch of younger kids and some college students, but you know what? I didn't care. It was great. Um, And once I kind of started getting a feel for the adventures in organized play, I decided, hey, you know what? I want to start running games again. And so I started running games for D&D encounters. So I would run once a week at the store. And that really kind of that really um, prepared me for eventually running just like in bigger public settings.
Mm, okay.
So, and the cool thing about this, right? So I'm playing D&D encounters. I'm running it occasionally. I ended up moving communities in the middle of it, and right after the move, I found another store that ran D&D encounters, and I was able to just slot right in.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't even have to. I got to my new community. I didn't even have to worry about like hitting a message board or going to a shop and checking the looking for player boards or anything like that. I was able to just drop right in and play. I was using the character that I was using, and
Yeah.
it's like the plot never. It just never not a break in the plot or anything
Keep
like
on
that. It was.
going.
That's what I love about organized play.
Yeah.
Let's see. So playing D&D encounters, right about around 2012, I think. D&D started. Wizards of the Coast, publishers of D&D, started rolling out playtest packets for what we now know as fifth edition. It was called D&D
Mm.
Next, and so I
Uh,
started. Yeah, yeah. So I started
yeah.
playtesting all that, and kind of like running those playtest adventures during organized play. And then eventually, when D&D transitioned from fourth edition to fifth edition, I just rolled like they started new organized play programs. They started the D&D Adventurers League,
Oh, okay.
and I just kind of rolled right into that. Um, and I mean, I was so into the game at the time that they put out a call for like local organizers and regional organizers who were individuals that would work with Wizards of the Coast to organize games in their community, either organizing at a local level in the local coordinator level or for an entire like large area in the regional coordinator level. So I ended up becoming like one of the local coordinators for Los Angeles. I think there were like five of us because Los
Mhm.
Angeles is so big and populated. And yeah, I would go around LA and I would just organize games at whatever stores I could find. I would help people, I would help facilitate other people at other stores organizing games. And that's when the con scene, the convention scene, kind of like came into my view because I kept meeting people in organized play who said, "Oh yeah, you know what? You should go to a convention. You should run games at this convention." So I started going to the regular conventions in Los Angeles. We have three of them every year. They're called Strategicon, and
Strategic.
they're fantastic conventions. I started running games there, and I went from running like a game a week
Mhm.
at one store, at my quote unquote home store, to running between like 2 to 3 games a week
Whew.
at stores throughout Los Angeles, and then going to a convention and running like I basically filled up as many slots as I could running games. So over the course of a weekend, I would run like 8 D&D games,
Oh, that's
you know?
crazy. I'm burned
And
out after
and
one, man. That's
oh no, it was awesome. It was exciting. You're there and you meet dozens of people, and the next thing you start like recognizing these people that go to the cons, like they become your con buddies. you don't really talk to him too much outside of it, but as soon as you see him in the con, you're like, hey, there you are. How's your dragonborn paladin? Oh, they're fifth level now. That's awesome. They tiered up. And it sounds like you're talking about your kids, right? Like after a while, you're like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. How's Kalek doing? Oh man, that's awesome. Kalek finally got that sword, that plus one sword that he was looking for. That's great. That's great. So, it was
It's a summer
it's
camp, yeah. Just like
yeah,
re-meet
yeah.
again, yeah.
Yeah, 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 exactly, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So anyway, it was a fun time. Um, and actually, that's also how I got started writing for D&D because I was a local coordinator. Eventually, our regional coordinator stepped down, and I took our regional coordinator's place.
Usurper.
Yeah, and it was a little, I didn't have to chop any heads to do it or anything like that.
Maybe next time.
Maybe, yeah, 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 yeah. When the opportunity
Yeah.
presents itself, I am gunning for like a D20 cruise like management position. So
Hey, we'll get there.
take
I
with that
love it.
as you will. No, no, I kid, I kid. I'm not chopping anyone's head off. No. But let's see. When I was a regional coordinator, one of the perks for being a regional coordinator is that you got opportunities to write material for the D&D Adventures League campaigns.
Oh man.
So I wrote a couple of backgrounds, and it kind of caught the attention to some of the the folks who coordinate adventures being written for Wizards of the Coast and for conventions.
Wow.
And I was approached by a couple of the organizers. I wrote my first couple of adventures then, uh, and I've basically been writing since. I'll usually get like at least a couple of titles out each year. Every once in a while, depending on the ebb and flow of life. Um, but yeah, yeah, I've been, that's how I've been writing D&D adventures. That's where I got started, and that's where I've been since.
That's like super like the doctorate level of GMing at that point because we go like player, GM, pro GM, like contributor to the body of scientific work for D&D. Like
Yeah, 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 I know, right? Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
right,
No, that's
right.
super
Yeah, that's
sick.
certainly a good way to put it.
So like okay, so I guess for people who are interested in not just GMing but maybe doing events or considering like paid pro games or that kind of thing. When you were first going, I guess to the encounters tier level of play, what was it like when you were first stepping into being like, oh, I'm just going to set up some games and like take part in this community, or like preparation for that?
Oh, it was, I mean, very, very exciting. Because again, uh, fifth edition really revitalized D&D. It was doing okay in fourth edition. A lot of people again kind of cry foul on that edition, but it kept D&D alive, and it was a lot of fun. Personally, I really enjoyed it. I still have a very soft spot in my heart for it. But fifth edition was just so new, so fresh, so well executed. Like the design for the books was great. All the new features felt very, very exciting, and we had a lot of new players that were incredibly interested to play. And so, and I mean, I have a theater background, and so I'm just pretty used to being in front of people and kind of interfacing with people. Not only that, but like my theater background wasn't it. Uh, I had I don't have a well. I mean, never mind. Okay, let me put my thoughts to words here.
Yeah, yeah.
um, the theater that I did wasn't necessarily kind of self-contained, right? There are a lot of shows where you're on stage and you don't break out of that world. But I did a lot of improv and like
Mm,
a lot of Shakespeare, where you kind of just broke the fourth wall and you interacted with the audience, and that like same thing just prepared me for it prepared me for being able to run games for just large groups, just random groups of people at a convention or at a store. And actually, after moving on from acting, I went into scenic design. That's sort of the next step that I took after, in my theater career. And scenic design highly prepared me for like creating maps and like making environments for
yeah.
D&D and for other games. And so like, everything you learn in life, you pick up and you use in some way, shape, or form, if you're lucky, or if you find ways to do it. And that's sort of like one of the tips that I like to give people is that when you're running games, you're coming up with scenarios. Draw from what you know and draw from your life. You'll find that you have more stuff that you can apply to a game than you might otherwise,
Hmm.
expect to begin with.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's awesome to be able to flip that. The theater route is like a supercharger for the skills that you were able to build up, which is sick. But I
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
technically the D&D preceded it, so it was kind of like the Ouroboros of
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah,
improvisational.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? You're not wrong about that. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
what did
yeah.
get you into
Totally.
like the theater side of things? Like, because you took the
Ah,
hiatus. Like it literally was like I did D&D, I took a hiatus, I ended up in theater, and then I got back into D&D.
yeah. A lot of that. I had an uncle that just took me to like plays all the time. He loved, watching big touring Broadway shows.
Oh, so
uh and I enjoyed the theater as well. Like, I enjoyed watching plays. He knew that I enjoyed watching plays, and so he invited me to a few shows, and it kind of became a regular thing for us, and it became a thing that we really bonded over. And that was what really instilled my love of theater,
mm.
throughout my life. And when I graduated high school and got into college, at first I wanted to like make video games, so I was going to be a computer science major. And my first year of college, I was like, okay, there's a play that's auditioning. I'm going to audition for this play, and I auditioned for the play, got a part, had a fun time doing it. Oh, wouldn't you know, they're doing another play. I'm going to audition for that, and so I kind of kept on getting cast in plays. And by like my second semester there, I was like, I don't know if I want to make video games anymore. I think I want to do theater. Like, you feel cooler. I'm sorry to say. Like, you
Game
feel
devs, close your
cooler,
ears.
and the people are hotter. So anyway, young brash college student that I was, I'm sure it made my
Hey,
folks
that math
really,
checks
really
out.
happy.
But yeah, yeah, mom, dad, I'm leaving computer
Yeah,
programming
I'm
to go
I'm
become
leaving
an
computer
actor.
science. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And now I'm like looking at AAA games, and like the teams that are making them, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But no, I no regrets, no regrets, none at all.
No regrets. Heck yeah. Let's see what we got here. Well, I mean that's cool. So, all right. So you got into theater, back into D&D, started GMing. The conference track is how you got into like more of the pro GMing public side of things. And then some random dude reached out to you to like do it on a boat.
Yeah, yep, pretty
um,
much.
yeah, and also I guess of like note for people is we mentioned in some of the other chats when we had like GM Tim on, we did a unique thing last year called D20 Showtime, where we had Jay, Blast and Astrid, GM Tim, and GM Matters all do kind of like an improv theatrical D&D thing.
Yeah.
We kind of ballparked it in like the crew chat and we're like, okay, well, this might be cool. Let's see if we can get the theater. We had never done anything like that on the cruise ship. We said like Matters, do you want a GM? And then you guys all stepped up to like act in this. And I think like the guidance was mostly like GM Matters is gonna like throw a scenario. The crowd is going to like introduce the variables to it, and then you guys reacted to the scene, and like it blew away my expectations. I'm so mad that the camera that we had recording it literally like started face tracking someone like off to the side
Oh
because we
no.
lost. Yeah, we were recording it, so this year I want to see if we can get like the actual AV crew to record. But it was so much fun. Like I think you were the last one to go. So like when it started off, every player, so GM Tim stood up front and he was like, "I'm GM Tim, and my level is," and then the crowd yelled one, and then I think you were the last one. Do you remember what your character's name was?
I can't remember what my character's name was. I remember they were a warlock.
Yeah,
I remember they were a
was
warlock,
it
and I was
Christopher?
like
No.
I was a level beyond the current,
You,
fifth edition level cap. I was like 30 or something like that.
yeah, you just stepped
That was a
forward,
lot
you
of
said your
fun.
name, and they were just like 30 something. Like you just kept going up, and
Yeah,
GM Tim was like, "What the fuck?"
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He did get the speed
That
level
was so
though.
much fun. Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was awesome. That was awesome.
yeah,
And
I'm
in the
looking forward to
most
that.
like inappropriate ways, the most fun inappropriate ways.
Yeah,
So
every 5 seconds, like, did I level? I guess it's kind of
yeah,
accurate to
yeah,
like
yeah,
a player that really wants that next level. Like, GM, did I level?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like, okay, so I mean, you got pretty far in a short time, um, Not even a short time. I mean, like you blasted off from like when you were a kid, basically, like jumping in because you basically said your friend introduced you, and then you went home and immediately started making maps.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I
Yeah.
think it was uh it was shortly before Christmas at the time too. And I remember the only thing I asked for Christmas was like boxed set of RPGs. And so
Mm,
either D&D or the Star Frontiers one. The Star Frontiers one is it's that Star Frontiers was TSR, the publisher of D&D at the time. It was their sci-fi game. And I think I actually got that before I got the before I got my own copy of the Red Box. And so technically, you know, the first product I owned was Star Frontiers, which now that I think about it, it kind of blows my mind. Like it wasn't D&D, it was something else altogether.
yeah, look at that. That was the first one coming in.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, okay. So, oh, well, I guess I forgot to ask this question too. So, your uncle got you into like plays, which got you into theater. Did you ever try to get your uncle into D&D?
No, no, unfortunately not. Like, we started watching plays while I was in high school, and
Mm,
then when I graduated, kind of college again, same thing. That hiatus
yeah,
really took over my life. Like college took over my life. I
yeah.
was doing 3 shows a semester,
Wow.
and kind of just running out doing the LA thing. And then after that, I jumped right into like producing shows. And
Mm,
so uh, I was
there-
working, of course. I mean, theater is not the most lucrative, it's not computer science when you compare, the lucrative levels of that. And so I was working a day job and then working theater as well. And I mean, that really kind of just ate up all
yeah,
my life. I didn't, I would see my uncle like during holidays, but other than that, unfortunately, we didn't have a whole lot of time
yeah.
to spend with one another. But I was, again, sort of the love of theater that he instilled in me. That's what got me started in the theater, and that's what kind of kept me going. And
Amped up your game.
yeah, yeah, and again, really prepared me for being able to run games. That's when I got all my voice training, and so whenever I put on an
Mm,
accent or whenever I changed my voice for a character. That all comes from my theater training and improvising. Same thing,
mm.
comes from my classes and being in improv shows and like character work. Even when you're in a scripted show, you're doing character work, and sometimes you improvise around that.
What if someone had to like if they're interested in theater and they do like GMing, what's a course or activity or something they should like explore to really start get them to cross those two? Like somewhere you look back and you're like, wow, that was really something that helped me a lot, like elevate my game.
Uh, I like the thing that I would recommend at the top of my list, an improv class.
Mm,
And so, wherever you are, whatever community you're in, if you want to get into any kind of like on-stage performance and have that be something that augments your gaming skills, whether you're a GM or you're a player, actually,
mm,
because improv will teach you how to make interesting choices, choices that sort of support whatever it is you happen to be doing. Um, when you're kind of starting off playing, there are some people who, okay, they kind of understand the story. They have a very serious or a very like specific story arc that they want for their character, and they kind of know. And then you have people who are kind of like just chaos goblins who
Frank.
like, yeah, just do whatever, derail the story and kind of cause chaos around. Whichever way you get, whichever way you lean, an improv class will kind of help you refine that.
Mm,
So certainly that's the first one that I would recommend. The second would be a voice class, like a voiceover class, actually,
mm.
because voiceover classes will kind of teach you how to, uh, you know, tap into what your voice can do as an instrument, and you can bring. Like, personally, for me, I bring that into my games, and so if somebody's talking to an NPC, I'll put on the gruff voice to, just try to make it a little more immersive or something like that. Or maybe I'll put on a little something else, and maybe the character they're talking to is a little sketchy, a little suspect. I don't know. Or maybe they're a little more refined, and I'll put on a little something softer. But all that, like, sort of being able to improvise around that
Heck
comes
yeah.
from like voice classes that I've taken as
Yeah.
well.
Man, that's something that we need to figure out and do on like the last day of sailing when there's no games going on and see if we can get people because that sounds sick, like to get people into that level of because it's a skill like anything else, right? Like
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
play and learn,
absolutely.
but sometimes you can pick your skills up in your hobby by like taking an actual structured lesson like curriculum.
Yeah,
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 that'd
absolutely.
be great to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, sick. Okay, so all right, man, I have so many other questions, but we got to get the big one, and I have no idea how long that one's gonna take. All right, so everyone knows this one is moon money. So I have a moon full of money. I don't know why that became the thing, but it is. And I'm saying, Jay, your vision and your mind are a beautiful thing, and I want to see more things from that become reality. What would you do if I gave you the amount of money you needed, access to talent, everything that you could do to make your vision of something manifest in the game sphere, creative sphere?
Oh boy. Uh Pie in the Sky, D&D theme park, like RPG theme park.
Okay.
That's what I would do. In fact, my youngest kid and I have been talking about that, and she actually drew like she and I a couple of like maybe about a week ago. We sat down and we drew a little like layout of a map of a theme park, a D&D theme park, and we're like, okay, well, what kind of
Oh.
rides are there? Okay, well, this one's going to be a dark ride. This one's going to be, a drop tower. This was going to be a roller coaster. Yeah, that's what I would do.
That's
With like,
awesome.
and she was like, oh yeah, you know what? And you what would TM TM TM. She was like, "Okay, you know, in Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios, they have these things called power bands, right? You put them on your wrist, and you
Mm.
can use it to like tap little sensors in Universal Studios to do game-like activities." And she was like, "What if there was like a D20 that had a little sensor on it, and you would roll that on the rides
Oh,
and on the
sick.
attractions?" And I'm like, "Wow, that's a
Yeah,
great idea."
that
So
would be.
that is what I would do, like hands down. If I had all the money in the world, I'd buy a plot of land, build this thing.
Oh yeah, that sounds like it would do really great too. I mean, like we literally run a cruise ship for D&Ders. Like the audience is there for
Yeah.
people that just want to celebrate their hobby. Like third spaces get obliterated in our community in general, so that'd be friggin' sick to get it. Let's see, you roll a one on a
Yeah,
ride
yeah.
and your seat restraints open. That was a comment.
Ooh,
That'd
well,
be a.
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know how long your theme park would last if you did that one, but
Yeah, yeah, I know, right? Yeah. No, but I mean, it's fun just to think about, right? But I'm making, suggestions to my kid, and she's just like pulling things out that are blowing my mind, like, oh, that's a great way to incorporate this element of the game into a theme park, or that kind of like activity into a theme park. It's really kind of fantastic what'll come out of like an unfettered imagination like that. I love
yeah,
that question, by the way, Drew. That's a great question.
yeah, I love it too. I mean, I was added in there just to see what people come up with. We got like malls converted to like living centers for TTRPGs, theme
Yeah,
parks,
yeah,
creative communes for people to just like do what they need to and like go off into the world.
yep.
Yeah, they're all sick. A theme park. That's yeah. I think you're the last GM that we're interviewing until we switch it up to some of the other crew on like the other sailings. So
Oh,
ending on a
okay.
theme park is a nice high, right? Like the apex of the roller coaster, if you will,
Yeah,
for
there
that
you
one.
go. Perfect, perfect, perfect.
No, it's
Man,
super
I tell
awesome.
you.
And then I always follow up with another one, and this is more like to bring it down from the moon money. Um, is there any intellectual property and or game system that you would love to see mashed into its own TTRPG?
Oh boy.
Like we've
Um
heard a Beast Wars one so far, like a Transformer Beast Wars one, and a
Oh,
wrestling
okay,
one.
Beast Wars. I thought you said Beastars, and I'm like,
Beast Wars,
"Oh, okay." Beast Wars. Okay, let me
Beast
put
Wars, different kind of Beast
so okay.
Stars.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's a really, really there are so many. I mean, it's like the age of prestige, like TV programming now,
Yeah,
right? There's so many great things. Marvel's already been done. Um Actually, you know what? I've said this. I've mentioned this at like a previous blog. I kind of got a similar question. I'm gonna say Gravity Falls, actually.
Oh, okay.
I would love to see like an official Gravity Falls TTRPG. It just seems like it'd be a lot of fun. And there are already like the books that Gravity Falls has put out. What is it like? Um, there's like Journal 3 and Bill Cipher's Guide, or something like, I can't remember what the title of the book is, but those books are just fantastic. There's so much flavor in them, and you
Mm,
practically have source books in them already.
wow.
You just need to put the stats on them.
Yeah. What kind of system would you use for that kind of thing? Or like, what's your preferred, like D20s, D100 roll unders? What's the one where you're like, this would work really well with Gravity Falls?
Um, I'm a huge, like, if I'm not playing D&D in a D20 system, I'm a huge fan of Fate.
Okay.
And so that might be a good one. PBTA is a lot of fun too, but I feel like there are a lot of games that have kind of already, like the Avatar game, right,
Mm.
is sort of PVTA with a lot of stuff kind of overlaid over it. Um, I actually, I don't know. Have you heard of Fishblade, or do you know what Fishblade is?
No, that sounds
All
amazing though.
right.
Fishblade.
So it was, I think maybe, I'm gonna say like 3 or 4, maybe 5 years ago. Uh, D&D was kind of at the height of its, well, not the height. It was like at this really huge, point of its popularity. And oh, I remember, it was when Wizards of the Coast did the whole OGL fiasco,
Oh, the
where
Dark
they,
Ages. Yeah.
yeah, 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 and a lot of people were really kind of disappointed at Wizards of the Coast and D&D, and a lot of people, like, people were on social media just talking about how they were going to quit D&D and not support Wizards anymore. And um, somebody tweeted, "Oh, great, you don't want to play D&D anymore? Why don't you play Fishblade, my diceless game, my diceless storytelling improv game about where you play a fish with a sword?" Right?
What a setting.
Kind
Fishblade.
of, yeah,
Literal.
yeah, kind of like just making, kind of like making fun of the idea that, okay, listen, PBTA and, like, freeform storytelling, like rules light storytelling folks, just because people are leaving D&D, you're still going to have to sell your game to these folks, right? To,
Mm,
to people, if you want to get, your hands in that pie, right? If you want to get a
yeah.
slice of that pie, of that market share that's kind of going out of D&D, you know. And it became a thing. Like, people latched onto the Fishblade idea, and game jams started popping up. Like, there was a big one in itch.io, and people made like 20 different games with the idea, like with the concept of Fishblade. And
Oh
so
man.
uh, a lot of the folks who were making these Fishblade games on itch.io were making like 1 or 2 page storytelling games, right? Or like really kind of like rules light storytelling game. I just dove into it and I banged out like a 40-page RPG,
Oh wow.
like fourth edition influenced RPG, in like 2 weeks.
That's lightning
And
speed.
I build it as like egregiously unplay tested, so I don't know how well the math works. I feel like it'd be pretty solid, but it's all based on, you form like a pool of D4s. I call it the Caltrop engine, and it's all D4s, right? You don't use any other dice except for D4s. And my goal for it was to have a player be able to roll like a fistful of D4s, and just, have that be the game mechanic. And I thought
Dangerous.
it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought it was a good time. I thought it was a fun time. I certainly had a lot of fun writing it. I had a friend that was like, "Okay, wait a minute. This isn't your typical Fishblade, 1 page diceless, storyless, or like rules light RPG. This is like deep fried, crunchy Fishblade, because there's rule after rule. You know,
Deep fried
I was
fish
thinking.
blade.
I mean, I would obviously, for Gravity Falls game, kind of going back to that, I would pitch that. I pitch the Caltrop engine. Why not?
The Caltrop engine for Gravity
Yeah,
Falls.
yeah.
Listen,
My own game system. Why
that
the hell
that
not?
that should happen. It sounds like it
Yeah,
needs to
yeah,
happen. Yeah, we got deep fried fish blade engine with the
yeah,
Caltrop engine.
yeah.
Man, it is fun. Like dice pools are like rolling to hit in D&D is cool. You get the D20, But then
Yeah,
rolling the
yeah,
damage is always more fun to me,
yeah.
because you get the pool, you get a baby pool of dice, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing like fireball or lightning bolt, right? And you're
Oh,
rolling like the 8d6s, there's a 6d8s. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. All ones and twos, but
Um,
hey, still fun to roll a lot of dice.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't know if you've ever played Ghostbusters.
Hmm.
Ghostbusters is a d6 dice pool based mechanic, right? Where you have it's like stat plus skill or stat and skill,
Hmm. Okay.
and you typically you'll roll between like I'm gonna say like 2 to 7 d6, right,
Okay.
for any conflict resolution typically. But they have this point mechanic called brownie points, and you can spend one brownie point to roll an additional die, and you start with 50 brownie points.
50
Now the
brownie points.
50. Now the thing about brownie points is they're also sort of your hit points. So as you use more brownie
Oh,
points, if you run out, you're kind of taken out.
yeah.
But like if you were like, "Oh, I really want to succeed this. I'm going to spend 20 brownie points and
Oof.
roll 26 d6."
That's going all
Yeah.
in.
Fun times, fun times. But that's kind of the point of I mean, it's Ghostbusters,
Yeah.
so it's silly and
Yeah.
humorous,
It's
right?
fun
So
for the
yeah,
risk
yeah.
reward on it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, exactly,
Ghostbusters. I hadn't
exactly.
seen the movies in a long time until like maybe last year when I saw like Frozen Empire or something. There was
Oh
ones that came
yeah.
out. There was like some new ones
Yeah,
that
yeah.
came out. They're
Yeah.
pretty fun.
Yep.
It is a fun setting for like supernatural stuff, but yeah, Gravity Falls with that, it's good. I'm gonna add that to the list of games that I hope to see, and that's
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, with both the budget D4s.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh heck yeah. So I also see you gave me some links that we have in the chat for YouTube, and I'll share them on Twitch. But can you tell me a little
Awesome.
bit about? Let me go over here. Neon Knights, a Masks AP. What's that about?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I stream with a fun group of folks called Happy Jacks RPG Network. And Happy Jacks, they've been around for a long time. We've got like thousands of hours of actual plays and an advice show. We do a weekly advice show, Saturdays, I think at 6 p.m. Pacific. And people write in and ask our folks for RPG advice. And so we offer that up. But also, again, we've got like season after season upon season of actual plays. I've been in three, no, hold on, one, two, three, four. I've been in four full seasons so far. There was one was a GURPS fantasy actual play called Slouching Towards Eldamy. That was my first one. That was a lot of fun. I played a One Ring actual play
Hmm.
in the world of Lord of the Rings called The Unsung Tales, for which actually I won like the New Jersey Web Fest like best player of a player character
Wow.
for that one. I'm very proud of the work that I did with that one.
Heck yeah.
I was in an actual play for a game called Starscape, which it was kickstarted a couple of years ago, hit its funding mark, and it's going to be fulfilling this year. That was a lot of fun. That's a PBTA game. Um, hold on. What else? One, two, three, four. Oh, I was in a fifth edition D&D actual play, like a Spelljammer game with like some homebrew rules called the Astral Circus.
Hmm.
And now Neon Knights is the latest actual play that I'm doing with Happy Jacks. It
Oh,
is
okay.
Masks. Yeah, Masks, a new generation. So it's a PBTA game powered by the Apocalypse game, um, where you play a bunch of like kind of young superheroes coming into their own powers.
Hmm.
And so we're like all 18, 19, 20 years old running around in a sort of neon soaked cyberpunkish city, trying to be young superheroes there. We just wrapped our third episode. It was a really, really great episode
Oh
last
yeah.
Saturday. And if you're interested in catching it, we go up Saturdays typically at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard or Pacific time. But this coming Saturday, we're going to be going up at 10 a.m. Standard Time, just because Pacific time rather, just because of some scheduling things.
Hmm.
Um, and that's on Happy Jack's Twitch channel. You can learn more about it at happyjacks.org.
Oh, I see.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm
that's cool.
playing with a bunch of I'm playing with a bunch of really really talented players. It's been a fun game so far, and yeah, no, I'm just having a great time. If you're
What's
interested, if you like superhero role play,
what's a little
check
little
it out.
tidbit about your character? Like what's the vibe that you're going for?
Okay, I'm playing. Powered by the Apocalypse kind of works with playbooks, like instead of classes and like character classes or anything like that, you kind of play archetypes. And so I'm playing a
Hmm.
character called the Beacon, and the Beacon is a character that doesn't have it's a superhero, quote unquote, that doesn't have superpowers. So if you think about like Robin or Nightwing, it's kind of like that.
Mm.
They're at the height of like their like human capabilities, but no inherent powers. And so my character is kind of that. It's a little bit sort of like a little mix of like Miles Morales, Spider Man, and
Mm.
like Robin from Teen Titans, kind of. And he's just kind of young and bright eyed and super enthusiastic. And um uh yeah, that's sort of the shtick. He has like these devices where he can kind of like shoot like strings
Yeah.
from his wrists, his ankles, and his back,
Oh, okay.
uh to kind of like cling on to things and grab things. And he goes by the name the Marionette, and so
The
he's like a
marionette.
little marionette puppet. Yeah, yeah,
I see. Yeah.
yeah.
Man, can you imagine the indomitable spirit you have to have where you're like, I'm going to be a superhero, and there's dudes shooting lasers out of their eyes?
Yep,
But
yep,
like,
yeah,
that is the
exactly.
superpower, being willing to step up to the plate and still do good
Yeah,
while you're
yeah,
walking among like demigods.
yeah, yeah, exactly. uh like it's sort of, I don't know, it's a shtick of mine, I guess. It's one of the things, it's one of the archetypes that I really enjoy playing, is the person who kind of just relies on their wits and their own physical capabilities. And so when I'm not playing D&D, I often play the sort of more grounded characters. Even when I play D&D, like everybody's playing a half dragon and everybody's playing like a demon tiefling character. You're playing a plasmoid, so you're a slime person. Here I am playing like the human or the halfling.
But yeah, I tend to play the disadvantaged ones where possible, like where you're the underdogs.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
little, like, I
yeah.
think I've only ever
Yeah,
played like halflings and things like that, where it's like you wouldn't
yeah,
expect them to step up to the plate.
yeah, yeah. Totally get that.
So
It's
the
it's
other,
you know,
yeah, the other thing that I got here is your DM's guild. So like you said, I'm not just going to be a GM. I'm going to contribute to the scientific body of work for D&D and other things. So I'm putting your link here for the DM's guild. Now you have quite a bit of content on here. Um, so what would be like what was your passion contribution that like either was underrated or did very well, or both, if you want to share that?
um Ooh, interesting. Okay, so I've got a couple of projects that I'd like to highlight. One of them is an adventure titled Bound by Duty, and that's an adventure that I've actually run it on D20 Cruise twice because it takes place on a boat.
Ha,
Like it takes
nice.
place on a ship. It's a sort of an escort mission sailing journey with like some really fun encounters and some fun kind of character interactions in there. And it's always been a hit with the groups that I run that particular adventure for. You mentioned that we play in suites now, right? So the first year of D20 Cruise, we played in the conference hall. It ended up being too noisy. Yeah, like you said, too noisy. Just too
Yeah.
many people in a small room. It was still fun,
Mhm.
and like I personally, I can project pretty well, and so I don't think my groups had a real issue with it. But one of my tables during the first D20 cruise, the like a couple in that table, they'd booked this really nice like forward suite, right? 30 foot of window just looking out to the bow of the ship. And they invited us to go play our games there. And I remember you and the rest of you and Frank and Marcel were so kind and brought like tables and chairs so that we could use something up there, right? We could play our games up there. And it ended up being awesome just having our own suite. And in fact, I'm so glad that you decided to move towards the suite option because it just makes playing the game so much more enjoyable.
Mhm.
It really does make it like the premium experience that it is. And whenever I run this game that takes place on a boat, there always comes a time when I'll just open up the sliding door, and you'll hear the waves outside just kind of rushing into or like rolling into the room, and it just sets the scene so perfectly. And you couldn't necessarily get like this an experience like that with the sea salt air kind of going in through the windows, and it becomes really immersive when you play it in that setting. But that adventure, like even separate from that, I'm so proud of that piece of work. It's a great adventure. So Bound by Duty, that's one of them. Um, Another adventure that I'd like to showcase is an adventure called To Be the Very Best.
Okay.
Um, and I wrote that for an anime convention. An anime convention kind of like approached me to say, "Hey, can you write an anime inspired D&D game?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can."
You bet.
Oh, yeah, I can. I know the exact thing that I want to write about, and it's gonna be, our favorite monster catching IP, right? Our favorite
I see
cute
it
pocket
here.
monster catching IP. And so, not only did I write the game for, not only did I write the scenario for that, I actually created cards. Like
Oh, I see him.
there's a whole card-based mini game that's built into that where when you have you capture monsters and you get a card, and when you have the monsters fight, you actually use the cards
Oh, that's sick.
instead of using like a monster stat block. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh and
If you haven't clicked the link, I put him in the chat, and like he has the pictures of the cards in there. It's super cool. I see a
Yeah,
Grick,
yeah.
like a Grick card with the
Yeah.
ACHP
Yep.
actions.
Yep.
Man, your
Uh
brain too powerful for this.
I did a bunch of illustrations for it. I did like I think one, two, three. I did three illustrations for it. I commissioned a friend's child, actually, a friend's like one of my friend's sons. I commissioned him to do some art for it. Did a really wonderful job. The Grick is actually one of the art that my friend's kid drew.
Oh
And
man.
then I was able to just find like other art on the DMs Guild that I was able to use for the rest of the cards. So I think I ended up making like 20 something of them. uh and it ended up being so much fun. That's like my best selling game, and one of my best selling
Wow.
games, and people just enjoy that game. I've like kind of seen it being played out in the wild, and
That's
it's
got to feel
always so
good.
much fun.
That's
Yeah,
got to
yeah,
feel real
yeah,
good seeing people
yeah,
like enjoying some create like something came from the mind into reality.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And I mean, just designing the cards was a ton of fun. uh and then the last one that I want to showcase, this one is I'm gonna place this one in the underrated one.
Hmm.
I actually didn't write this one. This one is an adventure called oh Lord, hold on. Sorry, one second. It's just like leaving
Dig
my
it out.
mind all of a sudden. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
If it's not monkey
Uh
business, I riot.
oh, it's an adventure called A Never Death to Remember,
Mhm.
and it takes place in the city of Neverwinter. And a friend of mine wrote it, and he included like a loteria game, like the Mexican lottery game,
Oh, okay.
in it. And I ended up like illustrating 20, I think 24, 26 like D&D themed loteria cards for it.
Oh man.
And so that one I'm incredibly proud of. The adventure is a lot of fun, and again, I'm super proud of the illustration work that I did for that one. But that one kind of slips under a lot of people's radar. You know what? Here,
Hmm.
I'm gonna pull up the link for that one. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, because that's not on this in here. Yeah, this one's not
You
here.
know, it's in one of my it's in what's the word? I have like a bundle. Oh no, no, it's not even in a bundle. It's in a bundle that one of my adventures is like what's the word? Like one of my adventures is included in that bundle because I did write an adventure in that series.
Oh, okay.
But this
Yeah,
one in particular wasn't mine. I just did the cards
this
for
is
it.
cool.
So
Oh, I forgot I could actually just pull some things onto the screen here so people could see it. Oh yeah, that's super cool. So like the okay, so you made the card sheets I see here.
yeah, yeah,
El
yeah,
Paladín.
exactly. Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
so yeah, yeah, that was a lot of fun too. So yeah, yeah. It was just a little sampling of my work. Yeah.
Three solid, yeah, three nice little sampling. That's the
Yeah.
vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate going on for the
Yeah. Yeah.
sampling.
The J African Neapolitan.
Yeah, there we go. Heck yeah, we got it now. Yeah, no, this is great. And then like we're nearing the end of time, but we got the next cruise coming up April 23. So for those of you that are going, you should start getting paired with your GMs, which Jay is one of them, soon. So if you haven't had them, we usually get some requests. We'll try to put people with the GMs that they request, but we also like to mix it up so people can experience new GMs. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, this is going to be we did 23, 24, 25. This is our fourth sailing for D20.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So that's going to be pretty
Amazing.
exciting. Yeah. And yeah, we're going to see where we go from there. I've been printing I got a recommendation from one of the players. So we did like the Battle Barge cruise where we had like this big hex map and people were playing Warhammer and their battles affected the war from across like multiple games. So I was
Oh,
like, I
that's so
want to do
cool.
more stuff like that for the D20
Yeah,
cruise.
yeah,
So we may just do like a level 3 pre-made character and let people just fill in like the aesthetic information about the character, and then
sure.
either do like PvE challenges or PvP arenas, and then just let people kind of jump in.
Yeah. There's also a D&D play style called D&D Epics. It's
D&D
actually part of
epics.
the Adventurers League, yeah. And Epics, they're like one scenario. Imagine like one scenario, you have multiple tables. Typically Epics are supposed to have at least 3 tables if not more.
Whew.
The ones that we ran in LA, the ones that we run in LA, we get between 20 to 30 tables, but it's 20 to 30 tables.
Wow.
Each table plays the same like general scenario, but different parts of that scenario, you know? So you have one table that's trying to break down the castle gate. You have another table that's trying to sneak into the castle sewers. There's another table that's trying to fly griffins over the castle wall, you know, just as examples. And the successes of each table kind of contribute to the successes of the game, and
Mm.
failures kind of like add setbacks and stuff.
Oh, I love that.
It's incredible. The biggest epic I played was at Gen Con 2015, I think, or 2016, 2015, I think. And we had 100 full tables of D&D playing in one session, like
That's
one scenario.
insane. So like, were
It
the
was
GMs like floating between tables, or did you actually have like a GM per table?
Yeah, you have a GM per table.
Whew.
Uh, there are what are called captains that kind of go around to each like section and say,
Super
"Hey,
GMs.
this just happened. Yeah, this just GMs, this just happened. Trigger this event on your scenarios." Or like, okay, this just happened. Everybody needs to, some like a dragon just came down and breathed fire on your region. Everybody needs to roll saving throws. So it's one of the coolest things you can ever be a part of.
Oh man, I mean, we got some GMs that do on like the last day they bring their tables together. I think last year we
Yeah,
had a 24 player one, but a
yeah,
full
yeah,
epic like
yeah,
that, man, I'd love to see that. But whoo,
yeah.
that's huge. Yeah,
It's a big undertaking. Yeah,
I'm so glad that like the hobby's gone from being like fairly niche to like exploring things like that. Like we're practically at the point of playing like MMOs IRL through
yeah,
like
yeah,
TTRPGs. I think there's actually someone I remember seeing on YouTube, someone who does like an online living game and treats it like an MMO almost. But regardless, like the scope that people are adding to this stuff is insane, and like
yeah,
from a place of love too, right? Like
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't be
Absolutely.
happier with it. Yeah.
Um, I don't know if you remember, this was maybe about a couple of years ago. There was a group of players that organized like a huge game at a mall out in Minnesota or something, or like Michigan somewhere, and they got like 1,000 players playing in this mall, and it was the same thing, like same kind of idea. You know, one scenario, different tables going to different things in the scenario, and again, same things. It was like an epic actually, but instead of
Mm,
having it be an Adventures League thing, they kind of organized their own. An amazing thing that they did was that they paired up with a store called Bricks and Minifigures. Right, this is
mm,
sort of what is it? After party, not after party. Aftermarket Lego sale, store. They buy used sets, or they sell new retail stuff too. But like, it's a place where you can buy old Lego sets or buy individual pieces.
ooh,
Find like collectible minifigs and stuff like that that maybe are out of print. But these group of folks that ran that D&D game, they partnered with Bricks and Minifigs, which is a national chain, right?
wow,
And they ran a national epic like that, where each Bricks and Minifig, brought in like one or two DMs, uh, ran their scenarios, and they would report in to the folks at Game HQ saying, "Hey, this is what my store did." And then Game HQ would like tally all the results and shoot back, "Hey, okay, between what everybody did, nationwide, here's what's going to happen. Run this
sick.
particular scenario." It's
Yeah,
wild,
that's
wild stuff.
sick. That's definitely like a broader scale of what we were doing for the D20, not the D20, the Battle Barge cruise, because everyone would play their game and your score afterwards, instead of saying like, oh, I won this specific hex in the battlefield, it was like, because Warhammer has points at the end of it, like, oh, I got 80, you
Yeah,
got 50. So it's a
yeah,
you have 50 points, well, five because it would be divided by 10. Where do you want to allocate it in the battlefield? So that was kind of freeformish for that. I can't imagine running like multiple stores and be like bringing the information. Here's how it affects the world. I want more of that. Rebel Pilot
Yeah,
said my
right.
favorite memories from Jay's game last year would be the eyeball. He kept calling my character Barnacle Bill, Buffalo Bill.
Yeah. Oh my lord, that was amazing. That was amazing. Yeah, that that was Bound by Duty. Actually, that was
That
the
was
game that
it.
takes place on a ship. Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
That was an amazing table. It was a group of very close knit friends, and they hadn't played in a while. And one of my favorite things that I hear from players at the D20 cruise is they say, a few people have approached me saying, "Hey, I've been a forever DM. I always run a game. And just this once, my friends and I decided we would get a group together, do this as a fun vacation thing, and I wouldn't have to worry about playing. I would just sit back and enjoy the game. And thanks so much for running this game because it's been a long time since I've been a player, and I love hearing that. I love hearing that from folks.
Got to get him off the bench. You know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Let them experience. I mean, for me personally, I think it's incredibly important for DMs to experience things on the player side too.
Yeah.
It just kind of makes you understand like what they're going through and like how to better work with them to tell a story or how to incorporate their character better. And so, it always makes me feel great when I can run games for DMs in particular.
Hmm. Yeah, which I mentioned this to before the call, and this is something that we'll chat with the community and see if there's interest in it. But personally, I'd love to get you and a few of the other GMs and do like a round robin GMs for GMs game, and just see where it
Oh
kind of goes
yeah.
from there. Like it might just be a fun
Yeah.
thing to do. So I know you guys would absolutely slay it. Um, so it might be after this that we'll figure it out because this is the last GM thing. It depends. And then we'll talk to some of the Gakukan crew, the Battle Barge crew, and we have a live play that's happening once a month. I think the next one is for Wrath and Glory 40K next Wednesday,
Nice.
where I am playing in it as an orc. This time I won't be sick, which is awesome. Um, and yeah, and we're gonna actually get to see Jay IRL on April 23rd to the 28th. We're leaving from Bayonne, New Jersey this time. I've never actually sailed out of this port, so that's a new one.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
excited. I'm excited.
yeah, you got to claim to fame in Jersey. That's right, player, right? Got to go back and claim the title. So, so yeah, that was great.
That's true.
We'll follow up with any other content at the end of the GM stuff here, and see if we can get a blog together, some reading resources, anything we can continue siphoning from their brains. So yeah, with that, I mean, thanks Jay, thanks for taking the time and chatting, and hope everyone had a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, and thanks for yeah having this chat. It was awesome, and to those of you who are listening, hope to see you out at sea.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get on the boat.
Yeah.
Let's start this. Alrighty, we're